Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Ross and Wizzy's Fanfiction Power Hour. I am your host, Wizzy Puff. Joined as a...
Oh, God.
What was that noise?
No, nothing.
No? Okay. Joined as always.
Continue.
Joined as always by my lovely co-host, Ross Pitt, who is having an issue.
Water went down the wrong pipe.
Oh, no.
I was trying to make my vocals sound nice and clean.
I couldn't tell if you were doing a bit or not.
Was not. Nope. Just ruining the recording. Thank you.
Well, this is the first day of December that our podcast has come back.
Ooh, hooray!
In this lovely holiday month of ours, we always like to read some nice holiday stories.
Which holiday?
Well, a lot of holidays are celebrated around now. There may be one that is actually more acknowledged than others, but we celebrate them all here on this podcast.
Really? Do we?
We're going to do Pinky's Hanukkah next, don't worry.
Doubt we will. Don't listen to his lies.
We should do a Hanukkah fic, though. I bet there's some.
Yeah. But I know nothing about Hanukkah, and I don't want to ruin anything.
What? Come on. Just learn about Hanukkah so we can do it.
You learn about Hanukkah, and then you can do what I do.
We're just going to do Hanukkah fanfiction. Not even My Little Pony.
Yeah, great idea.
Then we're going to have to do the same with Kwanzaa when we read Rarity's Kwanzaa fanfiction.
Or just Kwanzaa fanfiction.
No, it has to be Rarity. I don't know why, but she represents it.
Okay, you got it, man. Rarity's Kwanzaa it is.
But today, this is actually a Christmas fic. Because we're reading Santa by Rune Soldier Dan.
Actually, it's a Hearth swarming fic.
Okay, but Santa, how's that not Christmas?
Well, Santa hooves is definitely Hearth swarming.
I forgot that it was Santa hooves. They actually did have Santa.
Actually, they don't. That is just the common thing, I think. Or if not, I think it was in the Half-Naked Santa Saves Christmas or whatever.
Oh, yeah. So it's one of those, headcanons that become really popular in the community.
Popular enough, I suppose.
Enough for me to hear about.
Anyways, the description does specifically say hearth swarming, so I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah, you're right. This is definitely hearth swarming. Which is exactly what we celebrate here on the podcast, not Christmas, Hanukkah, or Kwanzaa.
Yep. Fictional holidays.
Yes!
That represent real-life holidays. Specifically, like Christmas, you know?
Yeah. But any day now, Emperor Justinian will bring back Saturnalia. For now, we will read this.
All right. And what is this, again?
This is Santa by Rune Soldier Dan.
Yeah, we just read a Rune Soldier Dan fic. Whoops.
Oh, that's right.
This is a short one, guys. I think this is a first for us, though. First time we're reading a fanfiction from an author who we literally just read from.
It's going to be the 13 days of Rune Soldier Dan.
Oh, lovely.
And if any of you guys don't want to end up on the naughty list, better go into that description and give this person the read they deserve.
And if you don't want to read or even check it twice, you could give it a like.
It's the least you could do.
The least.
The least Navidad.
That's pretty good.
Santa by Rune Soldier Dan. Chapter 1. Noel.
The only chapter. Noel with a squiggle.
Yeah, it's got the little tilde. Twilight's hoofs tapped briskly on the cobbles, weighted by her yearning passenger.
Don't go to sleep now, Spike.
Spike frowned with waning tolerance out into the darkened, snowy streets.
There has got to be some law against keeping children awake on Hearth's warming eve.
Don't worry, we're almost there.
Yeah, but why?
Spike breathed smoke over his hands and rubbed them together.
Why are we going out from our warm library past my bedtime on Hearth's warming eve into the government-mandated ice and snow?
Government mandated? Wait, did the princesses control the snow?
No, the Pegasi do.
Oh, right, I forgot. They control all the weather. I never thought about that with the seasons, just like them completely controlling winter and fall and stuff.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's like freaking Greek deities.
Yeah, kinda. I told you.
Twilight said distractedly, more focused on her thoughts than the discussion.
Pinkie Pie missed the party again this year. I'm starting to get a little worried.
Maybe she's just baking for tomorrow.
Spike mumbled.
Or she takes a night train home and back to be with her family.
Twilight shook her head.
Have you ever known either of those things to keep Pinkie from a party? And she never says anything. It's like she's hoping we won't notice something's up.
Spike rolled his eyes and curled up to wrap his scarf around his knees.
Whatever. You'll owe me a present if Santa skips us because we're not asleep.
They're my parents. They're not going to skip us.
Santa!
Spike corrected.
What the fuck? Well, okay. Rune Soldier Dan, you've done this. Twilight gave a giggle that morphed to a snort.
I didn't even notice. I was just waiting for you to read it.
Right, okay. A centuries-old pony who sneaks into the homes of millions of equestrians in one night to leave them each a present appropriate for their interests and developmental stage in life.
That coming from Equestria's newest alicorn.
I know that the picture on the story probably gives this away, but, like, I'm not assuming that Pinkie is Santa, but Pinkie is Santa, right? Like, that sounds like what it's leading to.
No, Santa Claus is Santa Claus. Don't ruin Spike's innocence.
I'm just saying, it sounds like Pinkie Pie is an immortal being who goes to the homes of millions of ponies.
I wasn't even thinking about the immortal being aspect.
Yep.
Maybe she's just been doing this since she has had the ability to, you know? Before this, it was just like parents and stuff giving their foals presents, but then she started doing it randomly and they didn't ask questions because free stuff.
Oh, could be.
Spike said, bored. Theirs was an old argument, but it distracted him from the cold.
There's magic, and then there's impossible.
Twilight insisted.
I've studied this, you know. You've studied Santa?
Yes, I know.
Twilight went on, undeterred.
All the unicorns and alicorns in the world couldn't teleport enough gifts or stop time long enough to deliver them. To say nothing of the massive intelligence operation which would be needed to find gifts that are universally appreciated. A far more logical theory is that parents shop for their kids and each other, keeping it secret until the time comes to pass the torch. So, Twilight doesn't actually know, though. I don't think Twilight's been told by her parents. It doesn't sound like Twilight has been sat down and gone, no, Santa is not real.
She's just assuming, because she's logical.
Yep.
But do you think that she knows about Pinkie here and she's trying to keep that a secret?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. But I gotta say, I feel like Santa is one of the coolest urban legends, just in the way that he's used as a way for people not to take credit for the gifts they're giving. Like, that's pretty selfless.
Oh, that is pretty cool. Also, not really an urban legend. An urban legend... Santa is more folklore than urban legend.
That's fair. Urban legend does give off a different vibe.
Yeah. Urban legends, I would say, more localized.
Yeah, that makes sense. She paused, her mind going to untrod points.
Actually, how do you know I'm not Santa for you?
Because I don't get books.
Ooh, that's a good one,
Yep.
Spike said.
Look, here we are. Let's bother the cakes on Hearth's warming night and for no reason, then go home.
We're making sure Pinky's okay.
Twilight said, though a shiver broke the sentence. While Pegasi crews ensured a nice and gentle snow on Hearth's warming, their skeletal night shift was content to let it pour. Fat flakes descended steadily from the overcast night sky as Twilight climbed the 2 steps to Sugar Cube Corner and knocked with her hoof. The door opened much faster than either of them expected, revealing Mrs. Cake complete with a festive sweater and candy cane earrings. She beamed without any sign of annoyance at the late hour.
Hello, Twilight. Last-minute goods for the party? We always bake a few standby just in case. No, thank you.
Twilight smiled pleasantly.
Actually, I'm here for Pinkie Pie. Is she in?
The portly baker was not skilled at deception. She froze, the welcoming smile becoming weak and wide as her eyes immediately swung away. Oh, I like that she knows. Mrs. Cake cleared her throat, then cleared it 2 more times before speaking.
Well, I suppose that depends on what you mean by in. She's quite busy now, and,
A familiar squeak resounded from inside, muffled by multiple doorways to emerge only somewhat loud.
Oh, is that Twilight and Spike? Yes, Pinky.
Mrs. Cake called back. Twilight tried to peer inside, but Mrs. Cake shuffled herself to stand in the way.
Don't make them wait in the cold, silly. Send them in.
Mrs. Cake hesitated.
Pinky, are you sure? You are, terribly busy. Yeppa-deppa. They're my friends. Maybe they can help. Well, if you say so.
Mrs. Cake stepped aside to let them in the deserted shop. Her smile reclaimed its place, and she gestured to one of the back doors.
Of course we'll help.
Twilight promised. Spike yawned.
Ah.
All right, she's back there. Just keep going through the left hoof doors and she can explain the rest. Goodness knows I can't.
The first left hoof door took them into Mr. Cake's cramped business office. From there, into a closet with ledgers and baby toys. Oddly, another door sat inside. Twilight and Spike shared a glance before opening it into a something. A room not much larger than a closet, with shelves of various small rocks on display.
Pinky?
Twilight ventured.
Over here.
Pinky called through a door at the other end. Twilight opened it. They found themselves in a simple hallway of gray stone, adorned only with a weak string of garland and some picture frames. They walked slowly to the leftmost door, glancing to each side. The pictures were of Pinky and her family, and the door itself was larger than the others. Again, they passed through. Chill hit them at once. Warmer than Ponyville, but still white and cold. A massive pavilion was set up amid a backdrop of dirt and boulders, clear of snow and bustling with activity. Pots of cocoa, coffee, and hearty soup simmered on fires, ringing a pile of hundreds of gift-wrapped presents. A massive sleigh sat near the edge, where a familiar pink pony excitedly called their name.
Twilight, Spike, thank goodness we can use all the hooves we can get.
The notion of giving help briefly clicked off Twilight's growing curiosity. She trotted over, feeling a smile grow as the welcoming grin on her friend proved infectious. Pinky seemed as bubbly as ever, despite the plea for help, taking presents as fast as Mr. Cake could pass them over and shoving them in a burlap sack which never grew. Man, so she's like full magic. She's not just pretending.
That's Pinky.
Man.
Does this count as the magic satchel?
Is that a thing in My Little Pony?
It's a trope.
Oh.
The magic satchel is a trope where, like, you have just, like, a bag that you can pull anything from.
Yeah.
The first thing that comes to mind is Rico from Penguins of Madagascar.
Oh, yeah. He was a magic satchel. Is that also called, like, a hammer space in cartoons?
Yes. I believe so. What can we do?
Twilight asked. Spike was still staring around in shock.
Rapping, loading, drinking, singing.
Pinky pointed with the blue mitten Rarity made for her.
Whatever needs doing, pitch in. I'll have a special job for you later.
Doodly doodly doo.
Now, Wizzy, are you sure you want to do that?
Oh.
Think very hard about this, Wizzy.
You want me to do like a Christmas thing?
Yeah.
Jingly jingly jingle.
There you go. We did it last year.
Oh, I didn't even remember that.
Yeah, I did.
Twilight was a great friend, who was maybe just a little too smart for her own good. Pinky heard her brain catch up with the events as she and Limestone wrapped gifts at the table.
Limestone.
Yo!
My girl.
Does not get featured in enough fics.
Nope. There isn't enough gifts here for everyone in Equestria.
Twilight insisted. Limestone shrugged, not looking up from her work. Yeah, there is. You'll see.
But how is the sack holding them all? I don't understand.
To be honest, neither did Pinky. But that had never stopped her before. She was everywhere, helping to wrap, label, and load. Mrs. Cake arrived after a little while, bringing fresh gingerbread before pitching in herself. Pinky's quiet family also helped, having not once questioned or refused when she began doing this 3 years ago. Ever since she became the element of laughter. Santa existed before her. Pinky's earliest childhood memories were of helping Mom make rock soup to lay out for them. Pinky didn't know how or why she took over, or what happened to the last Santa. Nothing was forever. That's why laughter was so important. There was always just enough time. Dad stopped working to serenade them with deep baritone carols that sent chills down the spine. Marble paused for some soup, and Spike took a nap. The work somehow never became repetitive or tiring, the ever-marching clock always shockingly slow. Pinky's family was naturally dour and quiet, but in their own fashion they joked and laughed with the labor. The pavilion was dry, and only just chilly enough that hot drinks felt wonderful. Mrs. Cake fussed over the sleigh, ensuring it was in good repair. Her family joined last year, their babies snug and sleeping in cradles by the coffee. And now, 2 more. Spike whispered something to Twilight as they labeled presents together, wearing a smirk that provoked a playful noogie. They wrestled briefly, pitting her greater size against his tickling claws before collapsing against each other in play.
Aww.
Man.
It's cute.
They're just like, they were questioning it at first, but they've completely gotten into it just as quick.
Love it. That's the Christmas spirit.
Yeah! Don't question it, just accept it. The sack was full, but not too full. The hour not too late, and the sleigh had room for all. Pinkie learned very early on that the coming task was a lot more fun with friends and family. The cakes remained, content with their own small contribution, and the rest clambered on board. Something more felt right, and so Pinkie spoke.
Twilight, the clouds are pretty bad this year. We definitely don't have time to get lost, so can you guide us?
Oh my
Won't
God.
you guide my sleigh tonight?
She's literally Rudolph.
Make Twilight Rudolph.
I feel like it would be better if there was Rainbow Dash, so she could actually move the clouds out of the way.
That's been done before.
Oh, okay. That does sound predictable. Twilight opened her mouth, perhaps to ask how Pinkie pulled the sleigh without any alicorns before, or what she did during the last equally cloudy Hearth swarming, or any of the 100 other questions a logical, intelligent pony like Twilight was inclined to ask. Instead, with a blush and a laugh, she said,
Sure thing, Pinkie. Just one question.
naturally,
Ask away. I thought Santa wore red.
Pinkie waved down her blue mitten, matching her blue scarf and earmuffs, and blew a short, poignant raspberry.
Silly Twilight, you can't believe everything you read.
Tonight, that was good enough for Twilight. She hitched herself to the sleigh and lit her horn as bright and pink as it could flare. The shining brilliance cut through the overcast around them, and with a flap of her wings, she carried the sleigh to the heavens like it weighed nothing at all. Jingly, jingly, jingle. There was no more than just enough time. They did not only deliver to the thousands of homes in Equestria, but countless more over the whole world, and also to orphanages and nursing homes, apartments and prisons and barracks, all the way to the firesides and alleys of vagrants and royal palaces. So much to do, and just enough time.
So much to see.
So what's wrong with taking the back streets? The tall rooftops of Manhattan, the underground burrows of Diamond Dogs, places Twilight had never seen, barely even imagined. Yet she forgot them as she left, as the night's magic carried them along. Even Pinkie only vaguely remembered some places from last year, and she wished idly for the day she could make friends with the strange folk within. But there was no time. Not tonight. They crept into the changeling hive, leaving gifts for the tiniest bug up to Queen Chrysalis herself. Twilight peeked. The purple button eyes of a stuffed Princess Celestia looked back at her, and she quickly replaced the lid and handed it to Pinkie for delivery. They left thick jackets by old ragged ponies sleeping by train tracks. Twilight questioned this.
Can't we do more?
One present each.
Pinkie said briskly, eyes on the map as she plotted their next move.
Some things Santa can't fix. I'm not a princess.
Twilight grew very thoughtful at that. Pinkie wondered at the destiny of it all. If Twilight had been guided to seek her out tonight so she could be taught something new, she wouldn't remember the existence of hippo folk in the jungle, or that Princess Luna had an innocent fascination with model trains. That's adorable.
Yep.
Nor would she even remember Celestia's gift, for Maud caught her trying to peek and snatched it away. But the train tracks, she would remember that. Twilight was smart in the right ways, even if she didn't always ask the right questions. Jingly, jingly, jingle. It was a blur, just like with the presents. Las Pegasus to the smallest farm, all the way down their list to the last leg of the journey, never tiring or feeling repetitive, barely noticing as they moved from one city to the next. Ponyville was last. They parked on the rooftops of familiar homes and delivered presents no faster or slower than anywhere else. But Marble and Cloudy Quartz began to quietly yawn, and Spike was not so quiet.
Cloudy Quartz is their mother's name, by the way, in case you were wondering.
Okay, I was wondering, but it's like quartz. That's another type of rock. That must be related to them.
Yeah. Is Mudbriar not here?
Is that the dad?
No, that... Can't remember their dad's name. Mudbriar is Maud's significant other.
Ooh.
I was just wondering, since it's the time of year for family.
Yeah, but do you think that he's family enough to get in on the whole Santa tradition?
I'm gonna say yes.
Okay. So this isn't like a... This is like her established significant other in the show?
Yep.
Nice.
Although this might have been before he was introduced. Well, I know it wasn't written, but maybe it takes place before.
Okay. This is 3 years after she got the friendship thing, so... After she got her element.
Yeah. There are multiple heart-swarming episodes, although you could probably make an argument that a few of them take place at the same time. Can't remember when Mudbriar was introduced. Maybe season 8?
Okay. They pulled to the library. Pinky turned, speaking very quietly.
This is your stop.
Twilight hugged her, accepting it without protest.
Same time next year?
Pinky laughed out loud.
Oh, you silly filly. I'll see you tomorrow.
The pair stumbled inside, and Pinky drove the sled away. Only after would they realize it was not even midnight, and only next morning would they notice their presence beneath the tree. Pinky pulled the sleigh herself, carrying her family home with only a present for each of them left in the sack. Pinky included, of course. Santa deserved a nice hearth-warming as much as anyone. She didn't even know what was inside. They stumbled to their rooms, dropping the presents off beneath the Yule stone for tomorrow. Yule stone.
I think that's canon.
That's canon?
I think so.
That's awesome.
They did have a heart-swarming episode on the rock farm, so...
Nice. So do they actually leave out stone soup for Santa?
I think so. Well,
Nice.
Santa doesn't exist. As far as we've seen, Santa doesn't actually have anything. Santa
they do
doesn't
leave
show
out the
up
stone
in
soup?
My Little Pony. But they do eat stone soup.
Okay.
So,
Close enough.
yep.
Pinky climbed into bed with her sisters and fell into a deep and dreamy sleep. The end. Author's note. Happy belated holidays to all, and especially to Adam Smash. I hope you enjoyed.
Oh, hell yeah. Happy holidays, Adam Smash.
Yeah, you go, Adam Smash. Especially you.
Adam Smash. Adam Smash. You're the best.
Big shout out. And that was Santa by Rune Soldier Dan. What did we think about this fic?
I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, the idea of Pinky being Santa makes sense. A lot
It
of
does.
sense. And even if it didn't make sense, it is funny.
Yeah. But do you think it implies that the element of laughter in each incarnation is Santa Claus?
Well, I don't think so, no. Because I think Pinky is the first element of laughter, really. The elements of harmony
really?
are weird. Because they're like offshoots of the pillars of Equestria. And the pillars of Equestria weren't exactly one-to-one. They weren't exactly laughter, generosity, loyalty, yada yada. So I'm not sure if there were bearers of the elements as we know them in the show today. And even after that, the new elements, or whomever the student 6 turn out to be, they clearly aren't meant to be the same elements from that we see displayed in the main 6. So who really knows? But that was a great question. Thank you for asking, because it let me go off on that.
I was going to ask if there were any other elements of harmony, so that answers that. Because, like, I don't know, there's, like, other things where, you know, they have the heroes of before, so I guess Who are the pillars? That's something we gotta actually do a fic about, so I can learn more specifically about them.
The pillars are... I can't remember all of them, but one of them is Star Swirl. And then there was Rockhoof, and maybe... Was it Mistmane? It might have been Mistmane. But that was it. That's all I know. That's all I can remember right now.
Okay.
But yeah, we really do need to read more about them. I really like them. So yeah. Wizzy, I really like the way you do the jingle. I don't know, it just fits your style. The way you do transitions and the way I do transitions are pretty different. You take a slower sort of doo-doo with it. I go doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and you go doodly-doodly-doo.
Oh, that's true.
I bring this up because last year I remember going jingle, 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 which is a lot more in line with mine.
Yeah, I think I can remember that now that you're saying it.
Yeah.
This story was very nice. Thank you, Rune Soldier Dan, for yet another fantastic fanfiction to read.
Yes, Rune Soldier Dan, thank you. And maybe you'll get this episode under your tree this year.
This is our gift to Rune Soldier Dan.
Maybe I'll send it to you. I don't know. And thank you, Atom Smasher. Or not Atom Smasher, just Atom Smash. I think Atom Smasher is a comic book character. Thank you, Atom Smash, for existing.
For getting this fanfiction written.
Yeah.
Oh, I do have a question. Why is Pinkie Pie wearing red in the picture, but in the fic that was supposed to be something that she didn't wear?
Oh, it's probably just something he found. It's probably just an image he found and wanted to convey.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping it was going to point out that she's wearing, like, a fighter pilot outfit and then she starts attacking the town or something.
Yeah. You can't assume that the pics will always be perfect.
True.
Or one-to-one. Sometimes it's just meant to convey a feeling.
We're going to have to do a whole tier list of, like, the best cover art at some point. But we have no time for that tonight.
Episode 200?
Maybe? But I do want to do more of those games.
Yeah. Things are so tough to do. Episode 201.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight.
Goodbye. And in case this is the only holiday episode you listen to, have a good holidays, everybody.
Yeah, that's a good point. This may be the end of the world. All right.
I didn't
Good
say
night.
that.
See ya! Limestone shrugged, not looking up from her work. What did she sound like?
Hold up. Pretty sure Limestone is the mean one. Hold on.
Okay.
I just have to make sure that I'm not confusing her with Marble. I just looked up the word limestone. I'm an idiot.